Guys, I have an announcement to make. This is pretty serious. So, this is the last video I'll be making this year. I hope you guys understand. But anyway, today we are reading Requiem for a Loud Chapter 2, because this is a series now. But yeah, last video of 2025. And also, it's been 2 months since I started my YouTube channel. A 2-month anniversary for Churlo. Let's go. But anyway, this chapter is called An Unnerving Waiting. This is a long chapter, so I'm just going to get right into it. Wait, actually, should I fucking read this bit, or should I just... Yeah, okay, I'm not reading now, I'm just getting straight into it today. Generally, the Loud Sisters and Silent Places didn't get along very well. Even by definition, they were quite opposites. They were young, energetic kids whose lifestyle had turned them very noisy. They rarely found themselves without anything to do, and their activities tended to attempt against peace wherever they were. That partially explained why they felt so bad. So many hours sitting there, having to whisper, and without anything to do but wait, was affecting them. However, they were mostly affected by the fact that they were in the hospital's waiting room with no news from the doctors. Laurie checked her phone. 3:45. They had arrived into the hospital almost 5 hours before. Apparently, Lincoln and Lynn were just playing soccer when he got his right in... I can't read. Sorry, my glasses are a bit blurry. Yes, I wear glasses. Partially. Not often, but yeah. I forgot where I am now. Let me just find where I am. Okay, there we go. He got hit right in the head by the ball. And then he fainted. When she couldn't wake him up, Lynn panicked and started screaming for help. Some people on the park gathered around to help her, and they quickly called an ambulance. Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me! Anyway, Lola and Lana saw a small group of people that seemed to be looking at some accident. So they went there, curious about it. When they found it was Lincoln, however, they ran to tell their parents, separating at some point to find them faster. Laurie was trying to keep Lenny away from some attention-desperate punks when she saw Lana. The little one was running and screaming for her parents. She was crying, too, worried. The oldest Loud sibling went to her. Fucking voice crack. Anyway, Lana, what happened? She asked, looking for an injury. He's bleeding. Wait, actually... He's bleeding, and he won't wake up. Said sobbing, while the tears kept running down her cheek as she tried to wipe her nose. Who's bleeding? Lincoln, she answered before throwing herself in her sister's arms. Laurie literally dragged Lenny away from the boys, running when Lana guided her. When they got there, Laurie's heart skipped a beat or two as she saw her brother laying still on the ground, clearly unconscious. Yeah, okay, with a trickle of blood coming down his nose. Her parents were already there with Lola, Lily, and Lisa. Lily, trying to calm down, and hysterical Lynn. She was trying to tell them what happened, but the crying and the mumbling made it impossible to understand her. A moment later, Luna, Lucy, and Luan arrived, having seen the commotion on the park. The 10 sisters were all scared to death. Scared and deathly... Why can't I read today? Oh yeah, that's why. And deathly worried. Their parents weren't much better, but they tried to calm them. Fortunately, the ambulance came really soon, and they immediately took Lincoln to the nearest hospital. As soon as they entered the hospital, time slowed down. Every minute became a literal eternity. Almost an hour after they arrived, a doctor finally approached to tell them how Lincoln was. The poor man quickly found himself cornered against the wall of the 10 when the 10 sisters surrounded him. Oh, just fucking Spotify. I don't even use that app, if I'm being honest with you. I only got it because my friends had it. But anyway, I forgot where I am now. Okay, asking about their brother's condition, Lisa even took his notes and started reading the test results herself when Mr. Loud called them and made them leave the doctor alone. Being able to breathe again, the doctor explained that Lincoln was stable, but... oh fuck, I can't read that word. I'm sorry, I've never heard this word before. I struggle to say words that I haven't heard before. What was it? I shouldn't be focusing on this word so much, but... Anesthetized? They were yet to discover the cause of the fainting, so he asked permission to run some more tests. The parents agreed and asked when would they be able to see him. He told them they needed to wait for the test to be completed and the drug's effects to be worn out. It would take a couple of hours. So the Loud family made themselves comfortable on the waiting room and waited and waited and waited. 5 long hours of silence, of being worried to no end. Laurie looked around. Lenny was watching herself in a pocket mirror, but her mind was clearly somewhere else. Luna had her arms around Lynn's shoulders. Lynn was hugging her own knees against her chest. Luna and Luan were trying to cheer her up, but they were downcast as well. The latter hadn't cracked a single joke since they got there. Out of character, in my opinion. Lucy was holding one of her vampire's novels, opened on the same page for half an hour now, while Lisa was enlisting out loud all the possibles. What? Out loud all the possible causes of Lincoln's fainting and their respective treatments. The twins, meanwhile, were still scared by the image of their brother's unconscious face covered in blood. Lola was resting her head on her sister's shoulder, not caring that the hair was right next to Lana's dirty cap. Laurie sighed and checked her phone again. 10 to 4 and 5 new messages from Bobby. Sheesh. I hardly ever get a message. So, jeez. He wanted to know how everything was going. She told him they still didn't know anything. He texted a sad emoji and told her that as soon as he could get out of work, he would go to the hospital to see her. He also told her Ronnie N was really worried and she would like to visit Lincoln too. Oh dang. I know where this is going. She was about to tell him it was probably not a good idea when the same doctor from earlier came out of the door. They all got up right away, but their father stopped them before they did anything. He approached the doctor with his wife. So, doctor, any news? Wait, what voice should we do for the doctor? Well, we're still not sure about what brought him here in the first place. But at least we know it's not an infection. That's good, right? It could be. He's reacting well to the medication, and that's always a good thing. It's still too early for the blood test to give us anything, but we'll soon have the CT scan ready, and hopefully we will dismiss more serious conditions. Okay, said Mr. Loud, hugging his wife. How is he? That's why I came here. He woke up a few minutes ago. He was pretty confused, but I was able to calm him. He really wants to see you, but he's really tired. He added, looking askance to the daughters. So maybe it'd be better if we don't. I mean, if we could. Keep the girls quiet and don't disturb him. Helped me. Mrs. Keep the girls quiet and don't disturb him. Helped him, Mrs. Loud. Yes, that's right. You can see him, but carefully and quiet. All right, thanks, Doctor. The medic went back to the door, waiting for the Louds to follow him. Before that, Mr. Loud spoke to his daughters. All right, girls. All right, girls. Wait, no. Wait. Oh, yeah. All right, girls, pay attention. We're gonna go see Lincoln. But if even one of you raises her voice or does something that could upset or bother Lincoln, you're all getting kicked out of this room. Get it? Yes, sir, they all answered. He's probably gonna be really tired, so take it easy. Try not to disturb him, and don't hug him too tight. And don't touch anything, added Mrs. Loud. I don't know why I gave her that voice. That's my puberty voice. Voice crack and all. Anyway, once they all promised they would behave, they passed the door and finally made it to the room's rings. They followed the doctor through the long hall with doors on both sides. The girls were desperately looking for Lincoln's room, like they feared the doctor would miss it. Oh yeah, I remember, okay. Forget that. They looked through every open door, and they kept going. They felt more nervous. The endless hall was extremely silent. Their steps resounded on the walls, interrupted only by the occasional chat between nurses and carrying medicine and medical equipment. They passed by a lot of occupied rooms. Some of the patients looked actually happy, watching TV or reading a book on their beds. But there were others who looked like they were in pain or terribly tired. Let me just take a sip of my water. Oh, that's better. Oh my. Wow, I haven't drunk water in so long. Anyway, Laurie prayed for her brother to be okay. We are here, finally said the doctor, stepping in the room. Hey, feller. Found someone in the hall. I think they'd like to see you. Come in. The family entered, and Laurie let out a sigh of relief. Lincoln was sitting on his bed, a warmly smile across his face. If it weren't for the bandage on his arm from where they took the blood samples, probably, and the fact he was wearing a hospital gown, he could just be hanging on his room's bed. Mom, Dad, he excitingly said, getting up from bed. Lincoln, what did I told you? Sorry, asked the doctor, frowning. The boy sat once again with his feet dangling from the side of the bed. That I shouldn't get up, he answered, a little embarrassed. "Oh, honey," said Mrs. Loud, getting close with Lily on her arms. "I'm so glad to see you well." "How do you feel?" asked Mr. Loud. "Great, my head's not hurting anymore." "He told me he's having a strong headache lately, along with some sleeping issues. Were you aware of this?" asked the doctor. "What? What? No, we're not. Lincoln, why didn't you tell us?" I don't know. I thought it was nothing," he said, nervously playing with his fingers. "I guess I didn't want to worry you about nothing." "Lincoln, you need to tell us this kind of things. We will judge whether it's worth worrying over." Okay, this is annoying. "Over it or not," said Mrs. Loud, while trying to keep Lily from grabbing Lincoln's hair. The words sounded a little more stern than she intended, and Lincoln looked down. "Mom, don't lecture, Lincoln," intervened Laurie, getting closer to her brother and giving him a relieved smile. "Hey, Link." "Hi, Laurie," he cheerfully said. "You look tired." "Well, it's been a long day." "True." Lincoln was about to say something, but he felt someone pulling his robe. When he looked down, he saw both Lana and Lola looking at him with watery eyes and trembling lips. "Are you gonna be okay?" asked Lola, almost inaudibly. "Get well soon, please," said Lana, hugging her older brother's legs. He gently caressed their hairs, trying to comfort them. The doctor excused him and left the room, leaving the family alone. Girls, don't worry, I'm okay. I'm your big brother's gonna be okay." "Oh, shit. I'm okay. Your big brother's going to be okay. You don't need to be worried." "Well, we all are, bro," said Luna, stepping closer to. "We were pretty scared, you know." "Oh, guys, I'm sorry." Wait, should I do a voice for Lenny? Wait, no. And I'll get back to Lenny's voice, I don't know. "Wait, Lincoln's sorry? What did he do?" asked Lenny, confused as always. Okay, this is Lisa, so I'm gonna go. "I believe our brother is expressing an unjustified and exaggerated feeling of regret that comes from some sort of guilt for making us, his blood relatives, to be worried about the lack of certainties regarding his post-traumatic and fading state of health," tried to explain Lisa, while adjusting her glasses with her right index finger. "Son, you don't need to apologize for anything. It's not your fault." "Is that a reference?" assured him Mr. Loud. "Oh, this is Lucy."
"Lincoln's not the only one feeling guilty over something they shouldn't,"
said Lucy.
"Lynn's like that too."
Everybody turned to see Lynn. Indeed, while the rest of the girls had stepped closer to their brother's bed, Lynn was standing against the wall with her arms crossed over her belly, like she was unconsciously hugging herself. "Lynn?" asked her mother. "Lynn, you didn't have anything to do with this," assured her Lincoln. "You know that, don't you?" She looked at the floor, biting her lower lip. Luna moved closer and put a hand on her shoulder. "Lynn, I'm okay. Really. Please, don't feel bad." The girl continued staring down for a few moments. Then she violently pushed Luna's hand away from her and started advancing towards Lincoln. Frowning with clenched fists, both Lincoln and Laurie immediately recognized her body language. It was the same as she always used when she was about to punch someone in the face. Who's she gonna punch in the face? The older sister tried to step in her way, but her mother stopped. Laurie looked at her confused, but Mrs. Loud simply smiled and signalled to watch. Lynn stopped right in front of Lincoln, with the twin still hugging his legs, looking puzzled at their sister. She stood for a few seconds. Suddenly, she jumped at Lincoln. He really thought she was going to pin him down, but he ended up utterly surprised when he realised she was just giving him a hug. A very tender, soft hug, which was totally out of character for her. Before he could react, Laurie hugged him too, and then Luna, then Lenny. Soon he was surrounded by his sisters. Being in the centre of a group hug, they stayed like that for a few minutes, with their parents happily watching. Weren't they not supposed to do that, though? Girls, let Lincoln breathe, will ya? They stepped back a little, and after finally taking that load off, they all seemed more relaxed. They took some plastic chairs they found on the room, and some from the empty room next door, and sat around his bed while trying to initiate a conversation, even if they were keeping their promise of keeping their voices down. They all wanted to talk to Lincoln, and he couldn't understand, not even one of his siblings.
Girls, calm down.
The doctor said it's gonna be okay.
The doctor said it's gonna be a while before we get the results. There's no need to hurry.
Lincoln clearly saw Luann opening her mouth as if to say something, but she quickly closed it. Luann, you wanted to say a joke, didn't you? Oh, don't you? Oh, no. Oh, wait. Oh, no, she said, even though nobody was buying it. I mean, this isn't time for jokes. Actually, I'm pretty bored. I could use some comic relief, he insisted with a smile. Come on, Luann, make it fast, said Laurie. Since they insisted, Luann stopped containing herself. Oh, well, Mum and Dad are right. There's no need to hurry. We just got to be patient. There was a small silence after the pun was delivered, which was something Luann was used to. What she wasn't ready for was seeing Lincoln closing his eyes. And his chest spasming. Lincoln, are you okay? Asked Lynn, worried about the possibility that he was getting agitated again. He covered his face with a hand. His chest was definitely convulsing now. Lincoln, what's wrong? He finally looked up, smiling. Patient, he repeated before he started to laugh. They watched him dumbfounded for a few seconds before Luna started laughing too. They all looked at each other, and one by one they all laughed, louder and louder, until they were all hysterically crying. Their patients were watching all of this, and that image would stay printed on their minds like a Polaroid. Yeah, it was going to be, after all, the last time the whole family was having a good time. Well, and also this is the only successful joke that Luann has ever made. Oh yeah, if you hear any noises, it's fireworks going off. You know, people celebrating New Year's Day, even though it's not New Year's Day yet. They continued talking for a long while, until the room's door opened and the doctor entered with various notes on what appeared to be radiography on his hands. The girls barely contained themselves from jumping against the doctor once again.
"Excuse me, could I speak with you privately, Mr. and Mrs. Loud?"
he asked, while signalling outside. "Sure, we'll be right back, sweetheart," Mrs. Loud told Lincoln before giving Lily to Laurie and going out of the room with her husband and the doctor. Yeah, to be honest, I know something bad's gonna happen. He's got some terminal disease and he's not gonna survive. But let's see if I'm wrong. Naturally, as soon as the door was closed, all 10 sisters were right next to it, trying to listen to what the grown-ups were talking about. "What are they saying?" asked Lana, sticking her ear against the wood. "Shh! Shh!" hissed her Luan. "We can't hear. Wait, no. We can't hear if you talk." "Shush, shush! We can't hear anything if you are telling her to shut it," said Lola. "Don't you see that we can't hear anything if you keep talking?" complained Lynn. "Guys, you better keep it down," started Lincoln. "Shut up!" yelled all her sisters, turning around to look at him. Oh, dang, that's not nice. Yelling at Lincoln. At that moment, the door opened, revealing the parents, not surprised at all for finding the girls trying to eavesdrop. They stayed paralyzed for an instant before smiling and adopting casual poses. They thought they were getting some kind of lecture, but Mr. Loud barely sighed.
"Girls, say goodbye to Lincoln,"
he finally said.
"Laurie, take them home."
"What?" they said in unison. "But we barely entered here. We don't even know how he is. It's too soon. I want to stay with Lincoln."
"Silence!"
They were all taken aback by their father's yell. Wait, actually, let me just do an impression.
"Silence!"
Okay, anyway. He raised a hand to his head, massaging his temples.
"Girls, tomorrow it's a school day, and it's getting late. Go home, have dinner, and go to sleep early. Your mother and I will stay here. Laurie, take them home."
"But Dad..."
"Take them home."
It had been a while since Laurie saw her father this nervous. He seemed to be restraining himself to not yell at them, which was really worrying. What did the doctor said? Why would he be like this? As much as she wanted to stay right next to her brother until they were 100% totally sure that he was okay, she knew right away that arguing would only make things worse. Come on, guys, say goodbye to Lincoln. With Laurie surrendering, the rest of the sisters looked down, defeated. One by one, they said goodbye to Lincoln, hugging him, giving him a peck on the cheek, and wishing him the best. He told them that everything was going to be okay, with a big smile on his face. A minute later, Laurie leaded her sisters to the hospital's parking lot. They entered the van, not even thinking about what seat each one of them occupied. As she was checking Linny. Why do I keep saying Linny instead of Lily? Lily's seatbelt, Laurie silently prayed for her little brother to be okay. Back in the room, Mrs. Loud was trying to calm down her husband.
"Maybe I was too harsh on them,"
he was saying. "Don't worry, dear. They know we're anxious too."
"I'm so sorry about this whole situation," said the doctor, "but I think it was better to talk with you first."
He went close to one apparatus on the wall. Lincoln thought it seemed like any other light screen, but he remembered watching TV shows and movies where the doctors used them to see radiographs more clearly. We still don't have the blood test, but we do have the CT scan, he said, without looking at Lincoln and his parents. And? Asked Mrs. Loud. Oh, it's been half an hour. The doctor, just as Lincoln thought, put the CT against the screen. He didn't really know what he was looking at. A lot of blurred marks and some white spots here and there. Maybe there was about 6 white spots, all pretty small. Then he realised that the blurred outline had the shape of his head from an up view. The doctor contemplated his and his parents' reaction without saying anything. It almost seemed like he was expecting them to understand without having to explain it. Lincoln certainly didn't get it, but his parents seemed to. Is that? No, could it be? Said his father, looking incredulous at the screen. No, repeated his mother, covering her mouth with her hands. Lincoln started to worry. Her mother worked in a medical institution. Yes, it was a dentist office, but that enabled her to read radiographs, right? Why did she look so shocked? Mom? He called her, but she was lost in the sight before her, repeating the same word over and over again. No! Dad, what is it? What's that? What do I have? Seeing that the boy's parents were in a state of shock, the doctor slowly stepped closer to Lincoln. He bent until his eye level was with him and tentatively put a hand over his shoulder. He opened his mouth to say something, but he was clearly looking for the right words to say. He finally took a deep breath and looked him in the eyes. I'm sorry, Lincoln. Seriously, it feels so odd scrolling down and not seeing that. Ha. It's like I only see descriptions. Anyway, I think this is the end. But anyway, I'll read it anyway. Anyway, what do you think about this so far? We haven't reached the total feels point yet, but we're getting close. I must say, I love the twins. They're so cute, like in Left in the Dark, the first episode. When the lights go out... Yeah, okay, we know. Yeah. Totally cute, I guess. I kind of took that direction here with them. But don't worry, they'll be fighting each other as usual as the story keeps going. Okay, fine. Next chapter will have a cameo that probably you won't care about, but it's going to be kind of important. And it will be the first real sad chapter. So we'll finally see if I'm up to the challenge of writing this story or not. As always, please review and tell me what did you like and what did you think could be improved. Any fatal mistakes you see in my writing, please let me know as well. Quite a lot. Like I said, I'm doing my best, but since I'm an autodidact, there are some things I simply don't know. So don't worry, I'm not going to be mad or even sad if you point out my mistakes. I take it as an opportunity to improve. Just, say some good things too. Ha. Thank you very much. See you. Well, that was something. Okay, I will admit, right? I am invested. Like, I'm not bored. I am pretty invested in the story. It left us on a cliffhanger. It's like, well, what does Lincoln have? But anyway, yes, this is the last video this year. And, oh yeah, To be fair, most of you watching this video, you will probably already be in 2026. So, yeah. Though some of you will be watching this in 2025. So, yeah. But if you enjoyed this video, you're more than welcome to like and subscribe. But you don't have to. I just ask at the end of the videos because by now you know whether you want to or not. But anyways, have a great New Year's Eve and a great New Year's Day, or whenever you're watching this, have a great day, and goodbye. Come on.